Welcome back. Today, we've got an absolutely fascinating explainer lined up for you. We're going to be breaking down the official Universal Acceptance Day 2026 report. We often think of the internet as this universally open door, right? But the reality of the underlying infrastructure tells a slightly different story. Our goal today is to see exactly how global organizations are actively rewiring the web to build a truly inclusive, multilingual internet. And we're going to use the hard data from this report to show you exactly how they're doing it. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the multilingual internet problem, what universal acceptance actually is, designing UA Day 2026, shifting to technical adoption, a global regional breakdown, and finally, toward an inclusive internet. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The multilingual internet problem. The hidden problem. Okay, so I want to pose this provocative question right out of the gate to challenge some assumptions. Can your email system read to Finnegan or Devanagari? It's a serious technical hurdle. The hidden problem of the modern internet is that it doesn't seamlessly support all scripts, local languages, or even varying domain name lengths. If you're trying to register an email address in Amazigh or Nepali, or use a brand new top-level domain, a lot of applications, websites, and email servers will simply reject it as invalid. Actually, scratch that. It's not just a language barrier. It's a massive digital roadblock for literally billions of people. All right, Section 2. What is UA? Universal Acceptance. So, if language barriers are the problem, Universal Acceptance, or UA, is the targeted solution. UA is a foundational technical requirement. It ensures that all valid domain names and email addresses, regardless of their language, their script, or their character length, work equally well on all internet-enabled applications and systems. It's essentially the critical technical bridge for achieving true digital inclusion. Because, let's face it, without UA, a multilingual internet is just a nice concept. With UA, it becomes a functional reality. Now, this powerful collaboration between ICANN, UNESCO, and other global organizations brilliantly illustrates the driving force behind this whole movement. They've essentially taken a very dry, highly technical standard and correctly reframed it as a broader human rights and access to information issue. UNESCO's involvement highlights that updating our internet infrastructure isn't just about servers and code. It's deeply tied to their 2003 recommendation promoting multilingualism and universal access to cyberspace. Moving on to Section 3, Designing UA 2026 Event Strategy. So, how did this high-level policy collaboration actually play out on the ground between March and May of 2026? Well, when ICANN and UNESCO put out the call for event proposals, they specifically targeted 4 types of engagements. First, UA awareness, to present basic technical concepts. Second, UA academic curricula, working directly with faculty to integrate these concepts into university courses. Third, UA adoption and demonstration, which are the hands-on, live implementations. And fourth, UA regional strategy review to discuss localized policy. The big takeaway here? There is a huge strategic shift. They are moving far beyond just raising basic awareness and are now actively baking UA into academic computer science degrees and regional government policies. Section 4, Technical Adoption, Shifting Focus. I want to really zoom in on those adoption and demonstration events because this is where the theoretical became very real in 2026. Organizers actually had to roll up their sleeves and meet some pretty rigorous, hands-on requirements to prove real-world UI implementation. Step 1. They had to register an internationalized domain name, or IDN, and set up a website on platforms like WordPress or Drupal that could actually process it. Step 2. They set up an email server supporting email address internationalization using a self-hosting script provided by ICANN. And Step 3. They created live, local language email addresses to test the whole shebang. ICANN even offered a 6-hour demo training to help folks through this exact process. And the tangible outcomes of those steps? Just incredible. Across 17 dedicated adoption events, we saw some amazing firsts. In Kenya, they demonstrated domains using the Arabic script. In Thailand, the Thai script. In India, Telugu, and in Morocco, the Tifinagh script for the Amazigh language. In many of these cases, this was literally the very first time a local language domain name and email address were successfully introduced into that community's digital infrastructure. It is a massive leap forward for meaningful access. Section 5, Regional Breakdown, Global Participation. Let's move to the data and see how this all builds up. Where exactly is this push for a multilingual internet coming from? Well, the global data tells a super powerful story. Looking at the 33 total events organized globally, Africa led the entire world, hosting 40% of the events. They were followed by the Asia-Pacific region at 27% and Latin America and the Caribbean at 15%. Europe and North America, they accounted for only 12% and 6% respectively. To put that into perspective, this clearly illustrates that the Global South is taking the definitive, proactive lead in upgrading their digital infrastructure to support their diverse linguistic heritage.
And if we look at the raw proposal data, this local drive is even more apparent. Out of the 70 total worldwide proposals received by the review team, 29 came from Africa and 22 came from the Asia-Pacific. That means 51 out of 70 proposals, a massive majority, originated strictly from those two regions. It showcases an undeniable grassroots appetite from these communities to make their systems universal acceptance ready. 5,851. That is the huge total turnout of participants across all these events worldwide in 2026. And this wasn't just a single demographic either. This number represents telecom regulators, civil society, tech startups, university faculty, email system administrators, and linguists, all coming together. Oh, and 58% of these participants were from the Asia-Pacific region alone.
Finally, Section 6, an inclusive internet. Future outlook.
Let's wrap up by looking at the ultimate takeaways from the 2026 report. This comparison is absolutely vital to understanding the momentum of the universal acceptance movement. The report notes that 2026 actually featured slightly fewer total events compared to 2025, but that was a deliberate choice. The focus shifted away from the easy awareness events toward highly complex, hands-on, technical adoption events. Despite requiring way more technical effort, the average participation rate surged from 130 people per event in 2025 to 177 people per event in 2026. So the crucial point? Community buy-in is accelerating rapidly, even as the work gets harder. Which brings us to our final thought. The internet is only as inclusive as the code that runs it. The massive push from the Global South, from ICANN, from UNESCO, it proves that a truly multilingual web is entirely possible, but it requires active upgrading. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge to reflect on. Are your own software, your websites, and your digital infrastructures universal acceptance ready? Because the rest of the world is adapting, and a truly global internet leaves no language behind. Keep learning and keep building.